All right, we're back and looking at part 2 of Johnny B Goode. This is pretty basic. Again, this song is like the roots of everything that came after it as far as rock and roll guitar goes. So the pattern that is in Johnny B Goode you're going to see in just about every rock song from then until the 80s. And it's a pretty basic blues pattern. And so the idea is you're going to play a power chord on the 6th fret and the 8th fret of the low E string and the A string. If you don't know what a power chord is, then you should probably go back and do a little bit of homework before trying this tune, just because power chords, again, are the basis of what we're doing as guitarists for so much rock and roll. So the pattern is... For me, alternating is the thing that makes this happen with good time. So the idea is that I've got this power chord, and I'm going to play a 4-note pattern, which is down, up, with my right hand. Now, the third of those, which would be the second down, I'm going to put my pinky down on the 10th fret. But then I'm going to lift it up for the others. So I get down, up, down, up. So I'm going to do 2 of those, but I'm going to put a little accent on the end of the second one. So I get down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I'm going to skip the next down and come back in on the up. And that's the whole pattern. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now Chuck Berry's just running through this through a blues. So the notes you're going to get are B flat at the 6th fret of the low E string, E flat at the 6th fret of the A string, F at the 8th fret of the A string, and that's all you need for the tune. So the order that it goes in is basically the order of the 12-bar blues. So it's going to be B flat, E flat, F, E flat, back to B flat, up to F. I'll show you. So we're going to start with 4 bars of B flat. And in this case, we're going to consider that pattern a 2-bar pattern. So in other words, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4. So that's 2 bars. So if I'm going to play 4 bars of B flat, I'm going to play through that pattern 2 times. Then I'm going to move this pattern over to E flat just 1 time for 2 bars. And then I'm going to move back to B flat, same idea. The turnaround is going to be just F. Now in some blues you see F down to E, down to B flat. This blues sits on the F for 2 bars instead of going down to E flat. So you're going to get... And then you go back to B flat for 1 bar. So that gives you the full form for the verse. So that spot where I just hit that B flat, that's the beginning of the chorus. And the chorus has this really famous lick that goes in between each of the chords. The lick, if you remember from the intro, we did this thing where we slide, we put our fingers into a little dyad where the one finger was behind the other, and we slid up a fret. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to do that targeted around the note F here on the G string. So I'm going to take my middle finger and put it on the 9th fret of the G string, and then I'm going to put my first finger on the 8th fret of the B string, 1 string down, 1 fret back. And I'm going to slide from there into my target notes, which are F and A flat, which are at the 10th and 9th frets respectively. And then from there, I play 3 more of those notes, and then I'm going to play 1 more, followed immediately by either my pinky or my ring finger, depending on the size of your hand, going down to the 11th fret, which is the note B flat, on the B string. So that gives you this. Here's my root. That's the lick. And then I'm going to finish out the pattern. between every single chord, because that's one of the things that makes the blues such an easy and accessible and tantalizing thing to play, is the fact that there are a lot of notes through these chord progressions that will carry over and be valid in every chord that you use. It's one of the reasons that the blues has become such a mainstay of electric guitar, is that it's not necessary to relearn material every time the chord changes. So it means you get a lot of mileage out of your licks, and this would be sort of the roots of that kind of thinking. So again, if I'm going from the top of the chorus, I play the chord, and then that up from the riff is where I come back in. So here I am. I'm just going to do the same thing. So E flat, back to E flat, up to F, and then traditionally that last B flat is played through to get ready for either the verse or the solo. That's the form. He mixes the fill up every chorus, but this is the most iconic of them. So up to tempo, I'm going to play the verse and the chorus backed up to each other, and then we'll see where we're at. Aside from the second solo, which we'll dig into another time.